Okay, maybe it's time to introduce you to my orphan garden. Also, my vegetable garden. Same thing. We have this weird space on the side of our house that gets bright indirect light all day and then direct sun for a few hours in the late afternoon. And for a long time, this was actually my kids' digging garden, I called it. My son and daughter, mostly my son, would take their toy trucks. You can still see some of them over there in the corner. And we would just let him play out here in this dirt patch, dig and do whatever. But he's outgrown it. My twins, my two Bs, are 10 now, so he doesn't dig in the garden in the same way. So I turned it into my vegetable garden. And when I went through my big garden redesign, I put a lot of orphan plants in here until I could decide what to do with them. So the things in here that I don't know where I should put them, I have a flowering maple, which is it's a little too orange for me. I don't know. They're beautiful. They get nice and big and full. I cut them back and transplanted them in here. I'm not sure what to do with them. I've got some azaleas. I've got some hostas that I originally put in way too sunny of a location, and I'm just going to see if they bounce back here. I have two window boxes that I had up front, and they were gorgeous, but I found that they were rotting out my ledge. So we have to figure out a better way of having the window boxes. So for now, I just have them in here. Isn't that sweet? A little begonia. And then I have these gorgeous lemon cypress that have just gotten huge. And a maidenhair fern that's struggling on. And a fuchsia that does well. And a coral bells. So this is all like my shade orphan garden. But in this portion, I get more sun. So I turn this half into my vegetable garden. I went away for 10 days, you guys. 10. Look at the peppers on this. Look at that. Covered in peppers. All of them. Covered in peppers. I was just cracking up. My eggplant, I don't think it's getting enough sun. And then I tried a rhubarb this year. Mostly I grabbed it for the texture. I really like the big leaves. And I thought, oh, that'll look beautiful in the garden. But then I second-guessed myself. So I stuck it here to see what the growth is like before I put it into my real garden. I have a tomatillo, and I had a post earlier about this. I actually thought I had two tomatillos. For those of you who don't know, it takes two to tango for tomatillos. Turned out it was a pepper, one of them. So I went back to the store, got another one. There it is. It looks a little moth-eaten. I'll have to squirt it down with a little BT or some organic something or other. And then look at my tomatoes. These 4 heirloom, well, 3 out of the 4 have quadrupled in size. Quadrupled. Unbelievable. Not a lot of flowering happening, but these are heirlooms, a little slower to get started for me, and they're not in full sun. They're not in a perfect location, but good enough for me, frankly. Then I have some, whatchamacallits, the orchids. I can't remember the type of orchid they are. They're not looking great. I gotta give them some love. I probably have to replant them and give them some fertilizer. And then these are the 3 pots that I had out on my front patio. We moved them in here for vacation because I needed them to be on the automatic watering system. So my husband, bless his heart, he drug these pots out, looped soaker hose around all of them several times, as you can see. And we just put them out here, and they just exploded with growth while we were gone. So I'm tempted to leave them here. I love that they're on the automatic watering. I don't have to do anything to them. I'm not sure if they get enough sun. That's my only concern. Like this, yes, it's gotten nice and full and tall, but, not too many blossoms. There's a cluster there, and that's about it. So I'll have to think about that. I'm worried that my husband will not want to drag these back out again. And then, la 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 la, my angel trumpet bloomed while we were gone. Now look at this poor little angel trumpet. They're suffering with something. I don't know what. I thought maybe spider mites, given all the stipulation on the leaves. Well, first I thought it was a nutrient deficiency, so I gave them some organic nutrients. I gave them earthworm casings. I gave them some nice fresh compost, and the leaves come out beautiful, and then they turn into this. So I think I've got some sort of insect, but I don't know what. It might be spider mites, but I've never had spider mites in my life, so I don't really know what I'm looking for. So I think I'm going to take a leaf into Green Acres in a Ziploc baggie and ask them to help diagnose it. But look, it's not stopping them from blooming. These are all starts, you guys, that I grabbed from someone who was pruning. She cut off all these. I stuck them in a container, babied them over the winter, and every single one, I think I had 10 of them, every single one started. Oh, I can't believe it. I was so excited. I have in this pot a blackberry. It's a Arapaho, I think, thornless, so you can not worry about going in there. And look at baby. Baby blackberries. We've actually had this plant for about 4 years, and we've never had an opportunity to actually eat a blackberry because we always seem to go on vacation and we have a heat wave and the berries dry out and die off, and we've never actually had a chance to eat them. So I'm hoping this is the year. And then here's some of my peppers that literally, look at the size of this. This was not here when we went on vacation, you guys. Look at this one, loaded. Lots of different kinds. I've got hot chili peppers. I've got, I wouldn't say sweet, but non-hot chili peppers. I like to make my own fresh salsa. And look at that. And so this is my side yard that doesn't get a whole lot. I also have a blood orange and a tangelo and a mandarin and a fig. And then you see behind me, there's my Eden Rose with my clematis. The Eden Rose is done. I got to get out there and deadhead. And everyone says, oh, that's pretty crowded in there. It might be, but they do great. And they get loaded. Now, citrus tend to be an every other year producer. My blood orange produces the least. But this mandarin, I have to give it away. We actually donate most of the produce to the food bank. There's just so many we can't possibly eat it all. And so they come and they glean the tree for me, and they take the fruit. And then here's our fig tree, lots of baby figs. Figs are so easy, you guys, that people get scared. They're easy. You can't even, the most thing you have to be careful of is they can get out of control. So our neighbor has one and we have one. So they kind of grow together in this one giant tree, and I got to get after this because it's too big. And it will get too big. But it's healthy. And then look at the clematis just in there. Beautiful. So look at this tiny little space. It's a little junky, and yet we get great production. So, thing about being in a suburban garden, use what you have. Use the space that you have, tuck things in. It doesn't have to look pretty. I've got some basil tucked in there. I've got some campanula, volunteers. It doesn't have to be gorgeous. Here's my little strawberry plant. So, we get pretty good production given that this is all the space we have for it. So I would say don't let, all these people with gorgeous, plots of land and nice sunny spaces and all this room for raised beds, don't let that scare you. You can tuck stuff in and it can be pretty successful. Just look at this. Who would have thought? Have a great day.